All right, what's up, guys? Episode 2 of the Physically Offensive podcast with my co-host Brian Johnson. We got a special guest today, Curt, the real Hulk. So let's get into it.
What's
All right.
happening, Curt?
Not much, man. About y'all.
Same shit, different day.
Yeah.
Doing good.
Did you make it?
I hear you.
You make it out to the show yesterday in Tennessee?
No. Unfortunately, I had to work last night, but I was following everything on Instagram as much as I could because I was trying to keep up to date with who was doing what, and I had a friend that was competing, and a friend that I was hoping was going to win Mr. Tennessee, but he didn't. So, I saw from the videos and everything that it was a dog fight in the super heavyweights. So, and they had a stacked super heavyweight lineup this year for sure. So, but yeah, I mean, I saw everything from what I could see on Instagram and everything, trying to follow everything.
Is that the NPC show?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that show's pretty stacked, man. I figure, out in the country and whatnot, I was like, these boys ain't gonna come in condition. They came in fucking peeled. They made Cali look fucking like shit.
Yeah, and it was a little shocking, but this year they turned out some freaks for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it a step back. Let's have you like introduce yourself a little bit, kind of give a little brief history, maybe just like 2 to 3 minutes of kind of brief history, so our listeners can get familiar with what's up with you.
Okay. I suck at these, so bear with me.
All right. Just give like your name, your Instagram,
I know.
your training history, stuff like that.
I know. I know. I was kidding when I say that. The name's Curt. I've been competing in both bodybuilding and powerlifting. God bless. Uh, I've been lifting for over at least 30 years, and I've done powerlifting through some of that, and then did my first bodybuilding show back in 2017. I think I've done like 3 shows so far, but I do miss it. I haven't had a chance. I haven't had the opportunity to get back on stage. I do miss the stage after watching all that that went down to the stage show yesterday. But yeah, I've done both bodybuilding and powerlifting, and I run a clothing brand, American Savage. Um, I'm also an online coach, and that's about it. That's about all I can think of right now.
What's your Instagram? The real Hulkzilla? Is that what it is?
No, it's just the Hulkzilla.
Oh, Hulkzilla. Okay, cool.
So
All right. So you said you did a little bit of did you do competitive powerlifting or did you just do it? Okay.
yeah, I did competitive powerlifting. Yeah, I did it from when I was 17 to about 35.
Okay. Right
So
on.
I've done. I'm in the Alabama Powerlifting Hall of Fame.
Nice.
I was inducted into that last year out of complete nowhere. I was a complete surprise. I didn't expect it. Um, so and when they wanted me to like come up with wanted me to come up with a lifting resume, which I had to just pull every single meet I ever done out of my head from 1997 to 2014, which was my last beat.
All right.
So
You've been in the game for a minute.
yes.
Right on. What
And there was, like I said, and I had to try my best to remember every single powerlifting meet I've ever done. It was a little difficult.
what federation did you lift in kind of towards the end? I know they change every little while, but like toward the last 10 years, maybe what federations did you like?
Well, I mean, I could tell you the federations I competed in the entire time because
Okay.
in Alabama there wasn't that many federations that came that far south. So it was Wobble, World Association of Bench Pressers and Deadlifters. They came down a lot. Eventually, APF came down, and I started competing in that, and then SPF.
Okay.
Those were pretty much the two that I bounced between was the SPF and APF.
Right on. What are you like a deadlift specialist? What's your lift of choice?
Um, I would say I'm very good at the deadlift. So you can call. I guess you can call me a deadlift specialist.
That's
But
your best.
yeah, that was the first lift that came easy for me, and then eventually the squat was the second, and bench was the third. So,
Were
I
you pretty
guess
well rounded then, or were you just like way higher in one?
no, I really trained my ass off to be well rounded because I hated being that guy that was only good at a deadlift.
Right on. What's your I know people are gonna wonder, so what's your best totals? Give your best lifts and your best total.
Uh, let's see. My best raw total was 1970.
Okay.
It was
Is raw with just sleeves, or is that with wraps and sleeves? Or sleeves?
back when I did that, it was just knee wraps, and I don't think I wore sleeves.
Okay.
I don't think I wore sleeves at all. I don't think I just did the belt and the knee sleeve and the knee wraps.
Right on.
So why'd you decide
What
to quit that and do science-based lifting?
I mean, I never quit that.
I see you science-based lifting up in the gym, man.
Meathead science-based lifting,
Doing some
not
of
the
that horse
twink, not
shit.
not the twink brand.
What you mean you
What's
don't like
your
setting up those complex things and doing some tricep push downs? That shit's goofy as hell.
Oh
what's
my
the
god.
what's your deadlift? What's your best deadlift?
My
What's your
best
best
deadlift
what's your
was
best gym
being
deadlift and best competition deadlift?
okay. My best competition deadlift. We'll start with that was 771.
Okay.
And the reason for the number was because I was very hyped at the meet at the competition I did this in. And I went to the judges without thinking about it. And I kept saying to them 771, meaning I wanted the jackpot deadlift, 777.1.
Okay.
They heard
Seven
seven
seven one.
seven exactly. So I had my headphones in the entire time. I didn't even hear it over the announcer. I was focused. I go and I pull it. And I told my boy, I was like, man, I did the jackpot deadlift. He's like, huh? I was like, isn't that what I asked for? He says, no, they said 771. I'm like, oh my God. The intention was to get because on kilos it came out to either 777.1 or 771.0, and they heard 771.0.
Okay.
But anyways,
What's your best?
my best in gym deadlift that is it's 705, but I did it double hook grip, no belt, no
Double R.
straps. Yeah.
Nice.
I did it with no belt, no straps, and I
What-
did hook, and then I did a hook grip.
Okay. Did you do the other one mixed grip in the
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I did mixed grip on that one. I didn't. I was too scared to try the double hook grip at that time, and then eventually I got bored and figured, all right, I'll just try the double hook grip.
Okay. All right.
So
What about the squat? What's your best squat numbers?
my best squat, I would say 750.
Okay. That's respectable.
Yeah. So and everything I've done in the gym as far as squat wise, I think I've done like a 585 for three, but I've done it beltless with a pause.
Hmm.
So
What about bench? How's your pressing?
let's see let's say my full meet competition bench press was 455, but when I did bench only, it was 501. I missed 512 because my ass came up.
Okay. Are you were you a conventional or a sumo deadlifter?
I can't do sumo. I'm conventional.
Okay. Good. Like
I
not
can
intended.
I couldn't I tried doing sumo for I just couldn't do it. I don't see how guys can even use sumo. I just can't do it.
What do you think about this new Colton Edelbrock pushing doing like 1,000 pound squat, 1,000 pound sumo? I don't know what his bench is, but I know his total was like 27 or
Yeah,
sevens.
it's definitely insane. I mean, especially, I mean, this was Raw, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean that's insane. I mean, I watched I mean, he's making him look pretty effortless too. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not really struggling at all doing any
His
of
bar
the.
speed is so fast, it's crazy. And like his squat depth was like pretty respectable too. Like he sinks it. So
Well, I mean that was that's the thing that works in his favor is speed. I mean, if you can move weight fast, you can move it in and out of the hole as fast as you want, and that's why it looks easy on
yeah.
camera.
So what's your like lifting
Philosophy.
style now? So you're doing bodybuilding now for the last 10 years pretty much.
Well, I mean, my style's always been a cross between bodybuilding and powerlifting.
Okay.
They both favor each other in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, they like I say, I've adopted, a way of training when I was powerlifting, and when I transitioned over to bodybuilding, and I adopted another way of training. I kind of just throw them both together, and
Okay.
they work well together for, as far as I'm concerned. So
Have you
that's
done
how
any
that's
like systems?
I mean, when I did that 705, deadlift, that was kind of when I was doing both of those.
Okay. Have you done any like followed any workout like programs like John Meadows or like DC training or anything like that, or did you just develop your own bodybuilding style?
You,
You
that,
you
I've
got
done
your own,
so
man.
many.
You got that crush and release. Talk about it. Come on now.
Yeah, talk about it. Let's hear it.
No. Well, I mean, to answer your question, I've done like so many different training styles since I started lifting because I want to try them on. I want to see, you know, but of course, there was hearing about like the DC method and everything back when it was popular. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've done, I've trained conjugate method when I was powerlifting. Um, I've done DC. I've done John Meadows. I have a lot of
Okay.
John Meadows old training, old workouts on my phone still when I was a part of his website. I
Nice.
saved them all because I would go to the gym and they have no
No
cellular
way.
service. So I had to just I had to have them on my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a lot of his workouts on my phone.
I would
um,
say, so do you think that you kind of like you did a program or system and then you took like the thing that worked best from you and then you kept it into your what you're developing now is your own workout system.
yeah. I've had my own. I developed my own my own training system called the Crush and Release,
Okay.
and it's a combination of what I found worked over the years,
Yeah.
like a lot of rest pause training, like me pausing reps on a lot of my squatting movements,
Okay.
um, stuff of that nature. Being able to do like 1 1/4 reps, which is old school. And like I said, I've used it in the past and it's worked beautifully.
Yeah,
So
it keeps the tension on the muscle the whole time when you do that. Instead of like standing up, say you're hack squatting or squatting, instead of like standing up, removing the tension, dropping all the way down, maybe going past all the way down where you're sitting on just your joints and removing the tension. So
yeah,
those 1.5s will keep the load on the muscle the whole time. So
yes.
I like that.
Yes. And I've also implemented stuff of like, like I said, implement a little bit of powerlifting, a little bit of bodybuilding with it. And it's all the stuff that I've tried over the years that I felt like I've had success with because I've had success with.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So
Yeah, I think we all gotta.
Brian,
Oh,
no, Brian, it's not science-based lifting, okay?
yeah, I know you love that shit, man. You be rage baiting nonstop. But I was gonna say, I think all of us come from a little bit of powerlifting background. I started in bodybuilding, but during COVID, we didn't have a gym to go to, and then we found one as a powerlifting gym, and I learned a lot over there. It changed everything, the way I squat, bench, learned to deadlift a little bit, and I think having that background makes the biggest difference into your bodybuilding.
You found the powerlifting gym during COVID?
Yeah, there was this one gym open. It was called California Elite. Man, it was amazing. All the special bars and whatnot, and just freaky ass, like 155-pound dude squatting 700 pounds. It was the first time I seen something like that happen. And you know, everyone in the gym will stop and stare. And I'm not in a bodybuilding gym. People are like, don't look at me like that. And this, everybody admire it, come close, hype him up. I was like, dude, this is pretty fucking badass. I'd like to do this.
When you get to when you get to a powerlifting gym and you see stuff like that, everybody just kind of like it's kind of normal. So they hype them up and everything. But it's like you do that anywhere else, and everybody's like,
yeah, it's camaraderie at a much higher level. Bodybuilding, man, especially nowadays, you go to a bodybuilding gym, nobody talks, man. That's a big issue I found in Olympus. Everybody was quiet, you know. Granted, I'm a quiet motherfucker myself, but I was like, damn, like nobody talks to each other here.
It's kind of interesting, like feeding into what you're saying. Nobody's talking. Like I've noticed in a lot of bodybuilding gyms, like someone will be out there, they'll be deadlifting, you know, 4 plates, 5 plates, 6 plates. They'll be benching, you know, some strong goods, and no one is looking. I'm looking around the gym. I always stop. If I see someone even deadlifting over 4 plates, I'm like, all right, let's. And I watch it. You know, I watch their form.
No, that's me too. When I first saw Brian at Olympus, there was like a area where I was benching, and there was like a cage that was separating where I was benching and where he was hack squatting, and I just happened to notice this man Sasquatch on the other side. And I was just like I kind of looked over when he was doing his set, and I didn't realize he had me on camera. But it was one of those things where I just had to look, and it was like it was just kind of natural for me, you know. And I think that, you know, going back to what you guys were saying, it's a little different, but not in a good way, because it's kind of like you can do something absolutely freaky, and it was like nobody pays attention to it. And I think some people intentionally do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm out here on an island a little bit. I mean, like out in Ventura, there's some strong dudes, but most of the gyms I'm go to, I'm like kind of the guy. So like I've, you know, been squatting 5 plates for reps, and I'll like, you know, it's impressive to me. And then I'll like look, and like everyone's just like, no one's doing anything. I'm like, bro, you do realize what I just did? I just did 500 pounds for 10 fucking reps. And you're like, people are just like, I don't know. It just is kind of hilarious.
Well, on that, I mean, if you're a regular there, then everybody's kind of, oh yeah, that's just him doing 5 plates for.
I don't care, man. If I'm ever in the gym here, if someone's benching 405, I'm stopping, and I don't care if I do it every week. And we got a dude that he squats like insane. You know, he's got like an 800 squat. I stop and watch every time. Like whenever he's doing his top sets, I'm just like,
yep. Like a homeless girl with her titties out, man. I'm just,
I'm just thankful he didn't ask me to spot him, because I get so nervous spotting someone with that much weight.
There's one time where I had no choice but to watch, but it was a buddy of mine's, Daniel Ryjoff. I'm not sure if y'all heard of him. He lives in Texas now, but when he lived here in Tennessee, we trained a couple of gyms together. And I remember he was doing this thing, it was a trend, I guess, where he would take 225 out the rack on the bench press, bring it down, press it, sit it back on his chest, sit up with the weight, and try to do a seated military with it while sitting up with it. Well, he was going to do 315. And me and a buddy of mine were kind of just standing off to the side. We were watching for a different reason. He was like, I was like, hey. Yeah, we were sitting there like, hey, if this gets sour, we're going to have to run over there. He's like, yeah, I got you. That's the reason why we were watching. We were just because he goes and he sits up with it with 315 and presses it overhead, and was like, it looked shaky, but he did it. He sat back down with it and did a few reps close grip and racked it. And we walked up to him. I was like, we were merely watching just for on standby, just in case things got bad.
I mean, 315, I don't usually stop and stare too much on 315 unless it's like a small person. Like if it's, you know, if they weigh 260 and they're benching 315, I'm like, you can probably do that for 20 reps. I mean, it's impressive, but it's not like stop and stare impressive. Once you get past, I would say once you get up to 405 on either the squat, bench, or deadlift, that's when I start to just take note. I'm just like, all right, let me stop and look.
Well, keep in mind he goes from a flat bench position
Oh no,
and goes to
that's
sitting up.
yeah, that's a whole different thing. That's
Yeah,
like a whole different thing.
that's yeah. And we, like I said, we were watching him just because we were wanting to make sure that okay, nothing went south when he tried to do this shit.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it was impressive. I mean, like I say, he did piss off his girlfriend because she didn't know he was going to do that shit.
So, all right, let's go back. So, you
Okay.
guys talking about Olympus. So, Brian and you obviously must have like trained together or something like that when Brian was in Tennessee.
We just ran it. We just kind of, I guess you could say, we just kind of noticed each other, so to speak.
Okay.
Like again, he had a video of me where I was looking at him doing the hack squat, and I actually was videoing on my side where he looked over and saw what I was doing on the bench press.
Okay. All right.
So it was kind of one of those things, and we never actually had a chance to train together, but we linked up
Man.
on Instagram and whatnot. So we wanted to get up with each other. He trains early in the mornings. I train I'm training in the evenings after work. So
Yeah, I look
Okay.
back and I seen this big, you're like 6'9" Godzilla dude looking at me through the cage with the laser beam eyes. I was like, what the fuck is that?
I
Brian's
saw
got
that.
But there's few
I
like
did
big
not.
guys there, man. So you notice it when you see one, you the little head nod, you're like, yup, you getting after it
Brian's got a
too.
pretty nasty hack squat. If I see someone hack squatting 8 plates, I'm gonna stop and watch.
Yeah, of course. Of course, and it been a while since anybody has come through and was doing what Brian was doing. So it was just, and again, I didn't realize till he tagged me on Instagram that I was like, oh shit, he had me on camera.
That's right. That's right.
Had to get that consent.
Yeah, I know. It's all good.
This was a pretty big weekend. You said there was like that big show, obviously, where you're at. USA's was this weekend. The China Pro was this weekend. Did you guys see any of those pictures from China?
I I just well, I'd say I just woke up this morning just seeing all that stuff from China.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to pick up on because I've been following what was going on in Vegas and what was going
Yeah.
on here. Because I had a couple friends that were competing in Vegas as well.
I didn't even see who won the overall. One of my friends won in the men's bodybuilding. One of my friends won the overall in the women's physique. So she was a strong woman, pro strong woman before. Her name's Brittany Diamond, and then then she crossed over a few years ago. She was really kind of knocking on the door, getting her physique to the level to turn pro, and she just turned pro on Friday. So I was pretty stoked for her. But I didn't even look at the results from bodybuilding yet. So I don't know who's Mr. USA yet.
Uh, Fuck. I saw it last night. I can't even remember. I was so I had one. I had two friends that were competing in UFCs. One from Turn Pro, and I remember seeing who got the overall time. Mr. USA. I just can't remember his name right now, because I was so focused on one of my friends. But from what I can tell, like again, the super heavies at the USA's, it was a dogfight.
Yeah, I heard a couple of my friends that were there. They said that like every class was like in pretty good condition. One of my kids that I've trained with at my local gym. They did like maybe they did like an 8-man first call out in the light heavyweights.
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah,
huge.
and I'm like, damn, that's a pretty big first call out. So
For
yeah.
eight, yeah. It was a stacked USA for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's the people I saw talking about it said that like every class had like multiple call outs and stuff, and like people were in pretty good conditions. So yeah, that's pretty exciting to see that bodybuilding is kind of bouncing back a little bit.
yeah.
I don't see it on Sulos, but that thing that referring to it, I saw a bunch of videos about Behruz and James Hollingshed. I guess Behruz won China, and everyone's kind of saying, like, two people I talked to kind of said that they thought that Hollingshed should have won, but the videos I see, it looks close, but personally, I think Behruz just has a slightly better structure, so maybe that pulled him ahead.
That I saw that too because I mean I saw that too when I that was the first thing I saw this morning was that comparison, yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
I mean that it wasn't like it was obvious, but it was very close. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, he definitely had the better structure. So,
Yeah.
but but yeah, shout out to my boy Pete Harton. I've been following him for quite a while, and he got his pro card last night in the
All right. All right.
Vegas
What class?
super heavy.
Super heavy is
Yeah.
nice. Yeah,
So
I'm looking here on Sulos's page, but he didn't even post it at all. That's
hmm,
funny. Maybe he's just posting.
I think China is like behind us in time. Is there?
I couldn't even tell you.
Let me think.
That
I think they're ahead. Yeah. Well, I think it was a Sunday show, but China's already done. But yeah,
Yeah, so probably not gonna see anything till probably later today, most likely.
yeah. From US.
So but
Can you look up who won the USA's in open bodybuilding?
So how long you been in Tennessee?
I've been in Tennessee now since 2017.
Yeah, what brought you out there though? Because I know
Oh,
you said you weren't liking it all that much.
well, no, at first it was different. At first I liked it because there was a lot more hardcore gyms up this way that went away. Well, a lot of them closed and never reopened after the pandemic.
Mm.
Mhm.
So, like, one of them was like the Nashville Athletic Club. That was a pretty hardcore place. I lived like 5 minutes from there, and I went through I went through all my preps there at that gym. So it was just convenient, and I did all my cardio there. So
I
it was a hardcore gym, and then it closed down during the pandemic, so it never reopened. Redcon took it over in like 2020 2021. They took
Mm.
it over, and they for whatever reason they didn't have it open that long.
Yeah, they had a foundation issue or something like that, and then just decided to
Mhm.
close it.
Right. I mean, I walked in there the first time, and they still had all the old equipment from when it was National Athletic Club, and they had an area that was blocked off always. So that might have been where the foundation issue was. But yeah, they weren't open about a year before they shut down. I think somebody had asked me about it, saying, "Hey, how's Redcon?" I was like, I don't. It's not there anymore. I was like, it still shows up on maps.
Mm.
It's a pickleball place there that's in place there now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, it was a lot more hardcore gyms up this way. I came up here because there was I had got a job opportunity up this way, so I moved from Chattanooga to here, and the bodybuilding scene was much different than it is now. Now it's kind of what you saw when you came here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I was pretty disappointed, man. I figure, I'm from the country in North Carolina. People know how to work hard. So I was like, the boys out here are going to be getting after it. It's going to be a bunch of corn fed, big ass dudes. And I was quite disappointed when I got out there. There's some big boys, but overall, it was a very big letdown. And I tried
Yeah,
out just about every gym out there,
I saw that.
Carbon up in Nashville, they had more competitors and whatnot, but it was still a big mix of just people fucking around and whatnot. Olympus got the right idea, but it doesn't have the equipment. They don't really take care of it, honestly. Like every
Mhm.
time you go to a machine, there's plates left on it, and they're not updating it the way they should be, man. But the feel is
Well,
there.
yeah, at one point there was two Olympus locations,
Mm,
and the owner closed down one location and had all the equipment from that location come to the second location. So it became more of like the equipment of two gyms, and over time it just became a little difficult to like try to keep up with it all. Not
yeah,
justifying it, but it was just like, damn, you got a lot of equipment in here to fucking keep up with. And I mean, not to mention the bent bars. The bars there are damn near all the bars there are bent.
yeah,
I did a PSA like 6 months ago about all the bars at my gym because um, Brian's been to Underground, and like he buys nice bars. He's got Texas Power bars. He's got some Rogue bars and stuff like that. And I literally went through like, this is a deadlift bar. This is a buffalo bar. This is a squat bar. This is not a deadlift bar. This is a power bar. I went through literally every single bar, and I was like, do not squat on a deadlift bar. You're going to have all this, all this weight. I kind of went a little bit into depth about it. So I almost think if you go to a hardcore gym, like maybe you need to watch a video like that, or there needs to be a placard on the wall that says like what the bars are used for. Cause then, you get people rack pulling with like the wrong bar, and you get a bent fucking bar because someone's pulling rack pulling with, 6 plates on a like a power bar or something.
Yeah, a buddy of mine's out in Texas lost his shit one time because he came into a gym and he saw that one of his bars were bent, and it was one of his power bars because someone was rack deadlifting with it, and he went into a video saying like, I'll have to get this bar replaced. Now that's one less bar we have at the
Yeah.
gym. And
I mean, a lot of it, like literally, it's kind of funny because I go to this other gym, and it'll say deadlift bar, and it'll be on like the bench press or something.
I don't understand that. That drives me up the wall. It's like,
Yeah, it's just new people. They're just brand new. They don't know any better. But like, I think that's just something that like gyms need to almost just be a little bit more proactive on. When you walk someone around a gym for their first time, teach them that, and then they're like, oh shit, now I know. Because you don't know what you don't know if the first time you're in a new location or new hobby.
is that the reason why all the bars are color coded now, so people can pay attention to the colors?
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm just thinking about that. I'm just saying because back when I first started lifting, you couldn't tell the difference between a deadlift bar or a power bar.
Yeah.
But you've done it long enough. Like I've done it long enough, I can tell the difference. Like I can
Yeah,
see.
you can tell with the knurling. You can tell how it feels even, when you've been experienced enough. At the gym at Underground, he puts like he'll put tape on like the collars. So like, okay, this bar is for, like the blue tape is for deadlifting, the green tape, but it gets kind of messed up because people, just run it past stuff and it comes off. But he's trying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at TG, go ahead.
I'm just now realizing that's the reason why all these specialty bars are all color coded, so people can just realize, hey, this color's for deadlift, this color's for power.
Yeah, at TG they lock them up for that reason, man. People
nice
tear them
bar.
up all the time, and if they don't know you, they ain't gonna give the bar to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about how a lot of guys out in North Carolina train. I trained with a buddy of mine's, Jeff Laney, who's a strongman competitor. He drove out my way just to be able to train with me, and it was, I mean, it's been a while since I've trained with anybody that had any sort of level of intensity. So it was like a breath of fresh air when he came and trained with me. Uh, on top of the fact that there was a lot of shit talking between the two of us the entire time, which is fine. I mean, I imagine it wouldn't be any different between me and Brian. So,
oh, you better believe it. But most of my training's been out here in California. I've been in San Diego since 2016 when I joined the military. St. Luke's been out here forever too. And California's a fucking soft ass state, but people fucking train out here. I'll give them that. Especially before COVID, man. Yeah, it used to be like nasty out here.
Really?
Yeah. My gym used to be full of freaks,
he's in
man.
like the Mecca, man. Like TG, because it's right there in Pacific Beach. They got universities all over. There's people that are that 20 to 30, and then there's navies, so 30, 40-year-olds. So there's so many powerful, fucking jacked, good-looking people at the gym that he's at. It's like the gym to be at too. It's like an open air gym. They got a roof. They got machines on the roof. It's fucking nice,
man.
It's probably one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite gym for sure in the United States for sure.
Okay, I mean, that says a lot. I mean,
and then the owner is an old time bodybuilder, from the like 70s, 80s, 90s, and he just buys nice equipment. If Brian asked him to get like, hey, I saw this like Panada curl, he probably would get it within like 6 months.
That's dope. That's dope right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope right there. And to have a gym like that is pretty badass. I mean, I took a trip out Dallas, Texas last fall.
Destination
And
fit for
was
sure.
that
Destination Dallas. That gym's pretty legit.
I went there on my last day there, and that's like, oh wow, that was just like I didn't even get to see every bit of that gym. There
Yeah.
was more than what I videoed. I videoed like the whole area over there with the power racks and the leg press and whatnot. And I thought that, and then I actually saw the 250-pound dumbbells up close and personal, and I was just like,
That's a cool gym because you'll just see people in there, like it'll just be casual. Someone be squatting 6 plates, somebody be deadlifting. Like there's guys in there that go in week in, week out and deadlift 800 for reps sometimes. So
that's
that's a cool gym. And then there'll be like, open bodybuilders that are just like, 265 pounds on stage, like Jordan Hutchinson and Elias McCall and stuff. They'll be just like in there, just business casual training. So
yeah.
that's a cool gym.
Yeah, it is cool. It's a cool gym, and like I said, I've never seen like I mean, Olympus has the dumbbells up to 200s, so I've
Yeah.
never seen anything past that. And I saw these 250s that come up to my damn knee, and it's like a buddy of mine's that trains there is probably the only one that can actually do those on a flat bench press.
Fuck.
And he even told me that when he tries to like sit back with them, they like to roll in his hand because of how big they are.
Yeah.
So
They're
he'll
so
sit,
tall. It's just so
yeah,
tall that you're holding it. Like we've all seen that video of Ronnie Coleman. I think he was doing like the 200s or 250s, and they literally look like from like over his head down to his knees, and he's just like,
yeah. When he like kicks them back, they literally like he'll have them he'll have them secure, but then wants to roll out of his hand because they're just so big. And
yeah,
so his son has to get there and help in position. And
that's
he's told me, he says, man, if it wasn't for me trying to slip out my hand, I'd be able to do at least 3 reps with it. I was like, yeah, that's just difficult.
what's what's your like do you gravitate more toward machines or toward free weights now, like barbells and dumbbells?
Well, no, well, see now, if I end up sitting here telling you that I'm advocating towards machines, I'm going to get called like a science-based lifter from Brian. So we're not going to say that. But I try to implement a lot of free weights and machines. I try to do a combination of both. Uh,
Brian isn't old enough yet. I mean, I got 10 years on Brian. So as soon as you hit about 10 more years of training, you're going to be like, damn, these machines are safe. I can load them up, and it's nice being able to just like, bench. We got that converging flex, and you can just load
oh,
on 500-pound bench press and just lift it up, and it's not risky of like pulling a bar off and having that kind of weight above your face. So I
and
mean,
then and
I
then Brian and then Brian can actually officially call himself a science-based coach.
Get the fuck out of here. Now I'm primarily machines myself, man. I've been with machines for quite a while. I feel like with my height, how tall are you?
About 6'1".
I thought you were taller than me. You were 6'9". Quit lying your ass off.
Well, when you're a 6'9" Sasquatch, everybody looks 6'9" to you.
But yeah, with height, man, I feel like machines favor better. Like I've always tried to do dumbbells, like dumbbell incline bench and stuff like that. I can't get behind it. I feel like I'm fighting that rep so far up and down, I lose control.
Yeah.
My hands are falling asleep. So I never. The only thing I do free weight now is like side laterals for shoulders. Besides that,
Yeah.
almost everything is strictly machine, man.
Yeah.
I mean that going back to the dumbbell, I used to do a lot of flat dumbbells, and I came across the same problem where the bigger the dumbbells got, the more they kind of almost want to roll out your hand
Mm-hmm.
as you're trying to kick them back and try to turn them.
Yeah.
And so I have
It's
to sit.
when you start to become so strong that you're pushing the 150s on incline, the 160s, 170s, man, it's just the kickback is like it's hard.
Yeah.
If you're lifting with somebody, maybe they can hand it to you, but still, if
Yeah.
you got like one in your hand and you got to wait for them to hand you the other one, it takes like half your energy. Where you could get a machine, and then you could load on and maybe overload it with a gym pin or something like that. It's just
Yeah.
like you can have more energy for doing the lifting instead of half your energy just kicking back these massive weights to start inclining or something.
Yeah. But I mean, that was always my problem was just I mean, unless you have somebody there that can actually sit there and grab the dumbbells and
Yeah.
place them in your hand, and yeah, it does take a whole lot of energy out of you. But I mean,
I'm a,
sometimes you just can't resist too.
I
So
love it. I do. I started inclining again. I feel kind of embarrassed saying it because I can incline. I like that. I'm really good at pressing. My shoulders are just really powerful.
mhm.
So I mean, like I went and I did them last in my chest rotation, but like
Oh,
literally I was doing only like the 105s, and I was like, I did like 10 reps, but still I was like kind of just like a little shaky because I hadn't been using the stabilizers and stuff. So
yeah.
I was a little bit like, damn, hundreds. I feel like fucking men's physique guys are doing hundreds like
Well,
fucking
you were doing them at the end.
yeah.
And to bring that up, I mean, if that would be my only stipulation for like doing like barbell movements or any barbell movements is doing them at the end,
Mhm.
where you're not having to worry about your central nervous system
Yeah.
getting his ass kicked.
You can go a little
So
lighter and it's still getting the benefit from it. So but your joints aren't having to lift up, 50 extra pounds per hand.
yeah, exactly. So you did them at the end. So I mean, and then that's added to the fact that doing dumbbells again just completely fries your stabilizers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I was shaky, man. I was like coming up and I was like, man, I feel pathetic right now. But I mean, it's one of those things. It's skill based for sure. I come in the next week, I'll probably be doing 110s and it'll get smoother. And then the next week, it'll be like, I'll be right back up to, after 2 months, I'll be right back up to like the 140s or something like that.
okay. I actually started doing a little bit what Brian does on hack squats, and the little cue that you had of like trying to squeeze your knees together, I guess is what it was,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and that activated my quads a lot more because I am
Yeah.
hamstring dominant. So
I've always squatted. I've always squatted like that, probably for the last 10 years, kind of like a more narrow stance because I always wanted to build more sweep. And I feel like it kind of shot me in the foot a little bit because now my adductors aren't like my sweep is like good on the outside, but my adductors, so I never kind of like did both. So the last year or two, I've been like on leg press, I've been having that like real wide kind of like loading my adductors. But
yeah,
I do like hack squatting narrow still. Like if I try to go wide on my hack squat, I feel like it just feels strange to me because I've been doing the more narrow stance for so long with trying to get my knees really far over my toes and stuff.
yeah.
Mhm.
Which is what I've been doing. I just like I say uh I wasn't good at hack squats at first, and then I just started kind of getting to the groove with them, and then I want to try to narrow my stance, like you were talking about, to try to target more of the sweep. And I remember seeing something that Brian posted about the cues that he had, and I started implementing some of that into some of my some yeah, into the hack squatting, and I could feel my quads activate a lot more because I am hamstring dominant.
Okay.
So, you
It,
know,
it's
I
kind of
could,
it's
it felt different for sure, and I loved it.
it's kind of funny, like, we've all been lifting, you and I have been lifting for 20, 30 years, and still we're learning new things in the last month that is like, oh shit, you could do this different thing. And now, you're activating the muscle better. And especially definitely as you age, like I was saying before, you start to being like learning those things. If I knew all these cues 20 years ago, I mean, I would have been so far ahead. And I guess that's
Yeah.
where it kind of comes into handy of like, if somebody's 22 years old and they start to hire one of us as a coach and we're like, yo, try this, do this cues and stuff, they could be like, they could
Oh
jump off
yeah.
all our knowledge and stand on our shoulders and be like, now I, benefit even more from the mistakes that we made.
Yeah, but you would have to take all those cues and place them into a scientific study in order for them to listen. So
You got to bring in your research paper.
I don't know. I see some kids out there. There's diamonds in the rough that are still just blasting, slanging and banging and going heavy with the weights and stuff.
yeah.
So there's a
No,
few
no, no.
10 alphas
I
out
tried
there.
to I tried to acknowledge some of the young bucks that are actually doing it,
Yeah.
they actually are not scared to get underneath the weight. So I mean, I try to acknowledge those guys a lot more.
There's
So
definitely something to though, just going in there and just like I said before, just slanging and banging, doing too much volume, figuring out where your give up point is in your brain, where your bitch muscle starts to give out and stuff.
Mm.
If you try to come into it with this like science based, I don't want to fatigue and overtrain. Like you should fatigue over and over and over again. So you find where that limit is, because otherwise, like you probably are fatiguing halfway.
right,
If you try to stop at fatigue your first year in, you're probably not even getting halfway to fatigue.
Bro, when I
no, you're
started
not.
off, man, I was in the military gym. I was squatting and deadlifting, supersetting that shit. I had 315 on both bars. I go back and forth just trying to kill myself. Man, my back was so fucked up and all that. But I was like, I need to create more intensity. I got to find a way. So I was
Yeah.
always doing just horrible shit like that. But
So basically, every leg day, you basically was pretty much crawling out of the gym.
I was fucked up, dude. My form was bad and everything.
Exactly what you just said. I think that's what the new kind of science-based community lacks is the intensity. Like, yeah, you are like getting all these things right with the the mechanics and stuff, but like if you're stopping short, your body ain't gonna keep progressing.
I agree, and to that, it's like you can't train within a limit that you don't know exists.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
how do you know where your limits are if you've never pushed it to that point?
Yeah.
And that, yeah, it does come from a lack of intensity that I see from a lot of them. It's like, they stay in very safe variables, very uncomfortable, very comfortable, rep ranges, like, one, I don't understand reps in reserve. I don't understand that. I
Either.
don't.
I literally just go to failure every fucking every set. Every fucking set I go to failure. And
That's kind of been my mentality for as long as I've been lifting. I
yeah,
don't know reps in reserve. What is that? What is that? Like, are you telling me I have to hold back a couple reps? Why?
yeah. I feel like I would be disappointed in myself if I stopped before I was like done.
Only because we were trained, because we trained ourselves in believing that if we push it to that point, we're going to maximize a lot more muscle and a lot more strength.
Mhm.
And well, that has not let us down. So
Yeah. Everyone that's saying go to failure is like fucking look at all three of us. Like we're all like I'm the smallest one on here and I'm 260 pounds.
I
But
mean, I have that argument all the time. It's like, yeah, you tell them, all three of us, big as fuck. Well, that's gear and genetics.
I seen your start point, bro. I couldn't believe
Was
that
that?
shit. I said, I seen your start point. I couldn't believe that. I was like, what the fuck is that? No, ain't no way. That's like me, but
Yeah, I
unbelievable.
mean, exactly. You saw where I came from. I mean, I was like what, two 210, 212. So it's like, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I do try to, acknowledge the young guys that are actually doing it the way they should be doing it, like really pushing the intensity. I'll give you an example. When I went to Texas, I also went to Metroflex, the original one.
yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. And I walked in there, and you'll like this, Brian. I walked in, and there was this kid that walked in behind me, and I kind of overheard that he said he was from Corpus Christi, and so I guess he was from out of town. And I shit you not, this kid was in there for like 15 minutes, and he left. Okay, I don't know if it was because of the atmosphere. I don't know if he almost what he thought it was, but he didn't stay in there that long. So the entire time I was there, I was like doing back, and I think I was doing back and biceps or something. And I remember looking over to the hack squat. There's like there's a kid over there, belt and knee wraps. Think he was doing at least, what was it, 20 plates total on a hack squat.
That's right.
And like you were talking about, Luke, when you see somebody do some shit like that, I just couldn't help but to look. But I had my camera rolling because I was doing curls. So at the end of my set, I just kind of took my tripod and turned it around facing facing him doing the hack squats, and
Hell yeah.
he was just clanging and banging at
Hell yeah.
least for like 12 reps or some shit like
He
that.
probably had a membership to Metroflex. He probably wasn't a tourist. He was probably
No. That's what I was gonna get to. No, he Brian was currently coaching him. So no,
okay.
he's a member there.
Sick.
Because Brian was with him during that set. And then when he walked up to me, and then, we were talking because I so happened to have done pull-ups. I was doing a set of pull-ups in the gym, and they were all like, "What the fuck is this guy doing? 340 pounds doing pull-ups." Okay, it impressed Brian. That's all I have to say. And
if you impress Brian, you're doing some shit. I mean, that guy used to coach Ronnie Coleman. So
exactly.
you're doing some real shit if you impress Brian.
Yeah, exactly. So so when this kid walked up to me, I didn't realize he was like 20 years old. I'm like, dude, are you serious?
Damn,
I was like, how much you weigh? He's like, I'm about 275. I'm like, fuck, dude.
just to have that CNS engagement at that age is fucking wild. I mean, he must have started out at the womb, like connecting his CNS to like heavy shit.
Yeah, dude, this kid, I was impressed because I thought that, I mean, from looking at him, I thought maybe he was in his mid 20s. No, he was like 20 some odd years old. I'm like, damn, what's you 270 and you're 20. I was like, damn, he said he's already done a couple shows. And then and then he also posted some other videos later of him doing like 150s on dumbbell incline flies and like 405 for reps on barbell incline. It was insane. But hey, that's the kind of shit I like to see though, because like
that gym kind of has like just a magical feel. If I was never in that area, so maybe if you're like local, it's like different. But like everyone that's seen the videos of Ronnie Coleman, you look at the walls, they're all spray painted and got Sharpie written and stuff. Like the weights there, like they're rusty. It's fucking 105 degrees. They got a swamp cooler running, and it's just like it's too packed and stuff. But that gym really shows that like you don't need that new Panada. You don't need that new Atlantis. You don't need whatever. That gym has just got like old shit. It's got some cool old shit, but it's just got, like an old Nebula leg press, the one that Ronnie did those 22 plates per side on and stuff like that. So it's just a very like magic gym, and it's not nothing special. It's just some steel plates and fucking rusty bars and stuff. But like, it's something special. It's not something special, but it is something like electric.
No, I agree. It's honestly walking into that gym myself, you could tell the aura still there.
Yeah.
Like you could tell. It was just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just you could tell the aura is just still there at that gym, and it just like as you're walking into the gym, it just makes you want to train your ass off.
Yep. Yeah.
Talk about atmosphere is everything, man. Having that at the gym out here and then going to Olympus, I was like, fuck, this sucks.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, I come back from Dallas and I come back to Olympus, and you see the drastic difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's
you're
just like
at Olympus, huh? You're the like heavy mover, the biggest guy.
I mean,
without a doubt.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what's tough is because like
I don't like being the only. I don't like being the only big guy there.
Yeah,
that's why I was so happy when I saw Brian.
I made my best. Yeah, me too. I made my best progress like ever. I came back from an injury, and when Brian was up with me, and like he was kind of a skinny shit at that time, but like
still outworked that ass, boy.
But he just wanted to take everything to like 18 reps past failure, forced reps. And I was like, all right, like I got somebody that's consistent. So like the training partner and making an atmosphere like that can really, especially when you're at the level that we're kind of at, I'd already been turned pro and I already trained hard and everything. But like training hard alone is like, it's tough. It's tough to really push. And we make it work, all three of us have done it. solo, but it's tough to really make your best gains on your own.
Yeah, and then like I was talking about when I had my friend from North Carolina came out and train with me. It was like a breath of fresh air for me. It was so
Yeah.
awesome to be able to have somebody just go back and forth with, and to be able to push that intensity instead of kind of relying on yourself to bring that intensity out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was definitely
Especially when you're our size, having somebody unload half the weights is nice.
yeah, exactly,
When you're
exactly.
deadlifting, you're deadlifting 12 plates.
But
Yeah,
they got
exactly.
some big boys out there, man. Heavy D and his team, his client that just competed yesterday, Dustin. He's a big boy too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I was looking for winning the Mr. Tennessee, because he was definitely like from off season, 'cause I've been following him during his off season uh to him doing his show. It was definitely like, wow. Like, they told him he needed more size, they told him he needed to be more conditioned. He brought both of those this
Nice.
Mhm.
time.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely he definitely made some huge improvements over the last year or so. And he's already back on the grind now today. He's already back on the grind. Yeah, he like I say, he said, they didn't get what they want, like he back to work. So
That's
that's
right.
just how he is.
So when are you competing again?
Well, the first thing is actually making the move out to Texas, which I'm hoping to have
Oh,
happen. Hopefully get some word later this week about that.
There you go.
But yeah, as soon as that happens, I'll be definitely back on stage. 'Cause I definitely miss it.
Got to, man.
are you gonna go to Dallas? Is that where you're going?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. There's that gym, Absolute Recomp, I think in Fort Worth. That gym, I haven't been there, but that gym looks absolutely insane.
I've seen the videos and I've seen the pictures. It looks like it's like paradise, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying before, like you definitely don't need the Atlantis and the Panada and the fucking Mega Mass, but it don't hurt if you got the access to it. Those things are fucking nice.
I agree. I mean, but I mean, hey, it's good to like go to the gym and go to a new gym and be able to find new equipment to kind of play with that you
Yeah,
never normally get to see. Because
yeah,
like I'm around like Hammer Strength and Arsenal stuff all the time, so don't really see a lot of anything that you guys are seeing often.
Yeah, yeah.
hmm
So, I mean, it's, for me, it'd be like a kid in the candy store who's trying all kinds of equipment and just seeing, oh, how's this work? And well, question would be if I'm able to fit in any of it.
I
You're getting
feel that.
pretty. You're thinking you're going to be moving in the next. When is your
Well, I
like?
mean, right now it's getting word back on the job, so that's what I'm waiting on right now. So,
Got it.
so,
Oh, okay, so
with
it could be quick if they hit you up and they're like, come do it. It could be
yeah,
quick.
exactly. I mean, I wouldn't be against not doing it. So
Right
I've
on.
done it before.
Right on.
What do you currently do?
I'm doing security. I have two security jobs currently. I have one that's part time and one that's full time, and I pretty much work 6 days a week.
Yeah. So
So on top of being the coach, on top of doing the content creating and promoting a clothing brand and doing a podcast myself. So
and full time rage baiting online.
Yeah.
That boy get videos out every hour. Ain't
God.
nobody safe, bro. I'm like, Jesus. I better not slip up. I know I'm getting cooked.
You basically ended up doing that damn that lat pull down video, and you tagged me in it talking about my playlist.
Yeah, I know you listen to that. Come on. That white
Yeah,
girl
yeah.
pop gets you going.
Hannah Montana.
That's right. That with the neck
um,
rolls.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I had to get that picture for you because it was just like I caught it on the leg press. I was like, damn, I'm sending this to Brian.
You got the same thing. It's just ain't nothing back
The
there.
neck roll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
it's
like
the
your
thing.
hat's just choking your head out.
There you go.
I saw that and I just like looked at it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna send this to Brian. I think he might like this. I didn't really think my neck was that thick, by the way. Of course, you never look at your own neck. So
I know I'm trying to grow so bad, man. The only thing that's growing is my fucking neck hot dog. I'm like, God damn it. The fuck is this?
how much do you weigh? How much do you weigh, Brian?
Right now it's like 280, but I'm off everything. I pulled my food down like to 4,900. No GH, no sling, lesbian test, just fucking chilling. I got another like 8 to 10 weeks. I'm trying to let the body clean out for the first time in a long time, you know?
Yeah. I think if you keep training through, kind of sort of maintain what you're at, when you go back on, you're going to be fucking shocked how insane it is.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't take your foot off the gas and you retain your muscle, you retain your strength, then when you come back in, it's like, it's nasty when you've been on like, just TRT doses for a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this my last like fat boy push too, man. Really try to drive the weight up. Not get married to a scale per se, but add in some of the cheat meals, a couple times a week and get a little fucking fat,
Yeah,
a little fat.
Well, that's not very science based.
No. I don't think you've seen the picture yet, but I've been a fat boy before. It ain't my first time.
I actually seen this thing. I guess it's a big debate right now in the science-based community if you need high calories or calorie surplus to grow, and it's kind of it's an interesting thing because like on androgens, I've definitely grown muscle as I'm kind of like dropping like as my in a deficit, but like I've grown the best just on a bunch of extra fucking calories, bunch of calories, and my weight just starts going like.
It's always the guys with 13-inch arms talking about you don't need to be in a surplus, this and that. And it's like, all right, dog. Talk to me when you can fit that fucking t-shirt. You look retarded.
They're just gaining.
I'm sitting there looking at a video of a guy saying, "Oh, you don't need to be in a surplus," and I'm like, "Well, apparently you don't need to be in a large either." So it was like, what are we talking about? Okay, I mean, it's
only
like
a medium shirt telling you not to be in a surplus.
Yeah,
the worst ones are the ones that are wearing like and this is hilarious. The ones that are wearing the oversized Gap shirts, the oversized ones, and they look like tablecloths.
Yeah, I always go into my nutrition store. I'm like, you got any 3XLs? No, all the little guys bought me. I'm like, motherfucker, you gotta hold those. Come on, now. I can't get a fucking shirt.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Like I said, I'm trying to like figure out the logic behind it as to why and again, it comes down to them being scared of a fork. They're trying
to reinvent the wheel. They're all at the end of the day, I think what happens is they'll come out with some good knowledge and then they'll get some good engagement, and then they're a content creator, so they have to keep coming out with engagement. Imagine if you just like your original engagement was just like, yeah, eat big and progressively overload. Then what do you say the next time? If you only say that, you're fucking boring. Your content's going to fall off. So they have to find a new caveat and this new study came out, so now we're going to change everything to do that, because they're just content creators. They're not bodybuilding. They're just content creators.
They're content creators, thinking they're bodybuilders. That's what that is. What that is.
But the problem is that younger level client is always asking you these crazy questions like, do I really need to eat this or do that? Yeah. Yeah, so many. I'm like, dude, don't listen to the fucking internet. None of this shit's true. They're all retarded. Just trust me.
Well, yeah, especially, don't listen to any of what the internet says, because it could be this today, but tomorrow could be something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're obsessed with staying lean all the time.
Yeah.
And we all know that you can't do that all the time and expect to make any sort of progress.
Mm-hmm. You gotta just get your body weight up, man. I mean, like, not at any cost, but like, if you've never been 280 pounds and you don't eat to get up to that size, at maybe a little extra body fat, and then like the next time you get up there, you're better, and the next time you get up there, you're better. Like if you don't ever do it, won't ever get up there.
Right. And like, so
you main gain from, 280 is like obviously out of their reach. So like maybe 240. Like if you don't ever push yourself up to 240. You'll never get from 210 to 240 by main gaining. Like
So how do you feel
Just
about like
doesn't happen.
Chris Tuttle and a lot of these people are pushing, staying leaner and all that, trying to grow? And I'm like, I think that works well with an advanced athlete and whatnot,
Yes.
or a genetic phenom. But when you talk about the very average level genetics, I'm a firm believer in you got to get fucking fat one time in your life. Like, you got to set that bar high so the body understands we can get to this weight, and then you got to marinate up into that,
Yeah.
And
I mean, we saw everyone do it. I mean, every real bodybuilder did it. Lee Priest, Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman. We all seen pictures of them fat. Dorian Yates, we've all seen those pictures of them fat. And like, I think that you could, I think you got to do it as almost just like a, like, go up there, like I was just saying, go up there and then diet down and then go past that and then diet down. And then eventually that heavy weight is your like lean weight, but you aren't going to get there if you're never get there,
Yeah, exactly. I agree 100%. I mean, it's what's worked. It's what's worked for years. It's what keeps working. I mean, like Brian said, you have to get a little bit big, but you can, achieve that balance. But you can achieve that balance eventually, but you're gonna have to get a little big, at some point. You're just gonna have to.
It's probably the hardest part about bodybuilding would be eating when you're already full. Like, putting down, you got a whole plate ahead of you, and you literally are just like, I think, what do they call it? The power, the power chug or something like that, where you just like take a bite, wash it down with water. You already ate your whole meal and you got a half a meal left to go, and you're just like one bite at a time. That's that, and then like 2 hours later doing it again, and then 2 hours later doing it again, and then like feeling nauseous after every meal for a minute. I mean, I think that's just like the price of admission to get big.
Well, that's your answer right there, man. That's why science-based don't want to do it. It's because it fucking sucks. It's not. Let's make it optimal. How can we make this easier? Yeah, well, you ain't getting the result, and that's why you're still small.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, it's because they have the fear. They're scared of the fork. They're scared. They're absolutely scared to eat. Okay, they're afraid of getting fat.
Are a lot of the science-based guys natties? Is that kind of the thing too?
It's that too. Yeah.
Well, like, I mean, that's a huge part of it. Like, you're never going to look like us three on this podcast if you're a 170-pound guy and you don't take some gear. Like, everything else we're talking about is continued to be elevated because the gear allows it. Like, if you're 170 pounds, your genetics aren't going to allow you to get that big.
I agree.
So you gotta open the pathway through androgens to keep continually increasing protein synthesis to step the body up. Like, I think that may be like a disconnect for them too. They see us and they're like, okay, if I just keep doing the optimal thing, I'm gonna get there. And like what we're talking about is like all these other things. Yeah, the gear has to be like a part of the equation, because otherwise, if you're missing any part of the equation, you're never gonna make it. If you don't have training, you're never going to get huge. If you don't have the diet, you're never going to get huge. If you don't have the gear, you're never going to get huge. If you don't have, rest and recovery, yeah, I mean, that's super important to get huge fast. But like, if you don't have one of those three, you're never going to make it.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of them, will tout and say, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna train this way, and I'm gonna be bigger than some of these bodybuilders." And a year later, they're still looking like the same pencil neck geeks. So, and it's like, this is what's always worked for years, and everybody that's done it has gotten huge. I don't understand, and like I said, the gear aspect of it does unlock a whole new level. And while you can't do it natty at the same time, it does happen a little faster when you take gear. That's just the facts.
Yeah, but I mean, like I got up to 190 natty. I was 24 years old. I was doing a lot of things wrong. I probably could have gotten a little bit bigger, but that's about when I started, was 24, taking my first cycles. And I mean, I didn't know shit, and I was kind of doing it right, not knowing shit. Like, I was not taking the right compounds, but I started out just on low doses. Like my first cycles were like 100 milligrams a week of like Deca. And then like my first like competition cycle was just 350 a week of Tren, and that was it. Like that was all that I had. It was my first competitions, you know.
All
And I
right.
wasn't doing it right, but like on the androgen level side, I was doing it right, you know. And then my first like real crazy cycle was like 700. I think it was like 400 test, and then like EQ was like 300 or 400 as well. So maybe 700, 800 milligrams. And then I was at that like 700, 800 for like 10 years. And then finally around 2018, I did my first like kind of real thing. I did test and primo, test at 600 and primo at 900. And then honestly, I've been not far off that for the last decade.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Must be nice.
So
That don't work with me. That's lesbian levels for me,
yeah,
brother.
Brian has to be a kind of a high androgen guy. He's
Really?
High everything, bro. Drugs high as fuck, food high as fuck, training hard as hell, and it just a little bit of shit happened.
But the difference between Brian and most of these guys is he didn't just go there like immediately. He kind of worked up to having to go there to see the scale keep climbing up. You know, he didn't just. I see some guys they're 185, 195 pounds and they're on like 2,500 milligrams, and I'm like, bro, I'm like, your body ain't ready for that yet. You don't have the muscle to even just support needing that.
No kidding. Like you're 189, like a buck 80, and you're 2,500. Like no, you're not. Yeah. I've been for like the last I guess the last 3 or 4 years, I've been pretty much 500 tests, and that's all I've been taking. I just recently got back on Master on doing it about 200 a week. That's about where I'm at right now. It's
There's
worked
some
for
there's some of these guys kind of don't realize because they'll see all these pro bodybuilders and stuff saying like, oh, I'm on this dose, and they'll think like that guy's full of shit. To build the muscle, you kind of do got to push the doses up. But then to maintain the muscle, you really don't got to go crazy. Like you can maintain a pretty big physique on like 3, 4, 500 milligrams a week, which people would be like, that guy's not 280, that guy's not like 300, whatever. But like, yeah, he's just maintaining the size that he already built. Muscle doesn't just go away very fast. Contractile tissue doesn't just go away after you've spent 20 years building it.
I agree, and I to get the questions I get all the time is like, oh man, what do you take, man? You must take HGH. Like I've never touched HGH in my life. I haven't touched it.
Yeah.
They're like, no, no. I was like, no, I'm serious. I haven't touched HGH in my entire life. I don't know.
You're like, dude, I can't afford it. You're talking like
They act like you can go into damn Walmart and pull it off the shelf. I'm like, no, like that shit gets expensive. Like, like I don't know what to tell you. I was like, you can't just, like I said, it's not easy to get and it's very expensive. So
I
no,
would say HGH is probably the most overrated PED there is.
really.
Personally, I would say it's the most overrated because I've seen it time and time again. Guys are at a level, they've been taking stuff and they think like, all right, I'm going to take HGH and insulin this cycle and I'm going to get crazy. And obviously the insulin, usually it's just HGH, but like I see them just like, HGH is not an androgen. It's not going to blow you up 20 pounds like your first cycle of testosterone. It's just not going to do it. And, you get like maybe, I think what it does is if you get to like a level where you're on this end of the spectrum, it just keeps the needle moving, but it's not going to like make the needle go into the fucking red. It's just going to keep the needle moving at like at a good pace if you're like really pushing kind of everything. But
in order for you to keep that needle moving, you got to push everything else too.
Everything else, yeah.
It's a long-term drug. It's a commitment, man. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna cycle this for 3 months. This is like you're gonna reap the rewards after 3 years or so, And it did make a big difference for me. That paired with the insulin, it definitely shaped my muscle in a much more round fashion. I was a very flat and shitty muscle belly kind of guy, and now I have a lot more of that 3D-ness to it. And
you think that was the GH or just adding enough muscle to fill out your fucking long ass femurs and humerus and shit?
I mean, I remember when I got the Pfizer shit and I woke up the next morning, I was like, that muscle looked different. And it kept compounding over time. I was like, yeah, I'm way more round than I've ever been. It was night and day.
I mean, it does give you some fullness, but I just don't think that fullness is contractile tissue. That's like while you're on it, it is nice. It does puff up the muscles and it does look like muscle, but it's lean, but it's not contract out
But see,
tissue.
like I sustain that now even when I'm off of it. So I mean, I think it's a
Yeah, but you
combination of
can,
all things coming together. But I think
yeah,
it definitely, it's just like all things. It's going to elevate the ceiling. But if you're not touching the ceiling, it don't matter.
yeah,
And
exactly.
But it goes back to what you were saying, Luke. It's just that, you know, he had everything else being pushed along with it, and I
Yeah.
think that helped him. And he had everything because, like you said, it just can't do it by itself.
I'm,
And Brian's having to do a whole lot of shit just to push it along with it. So you know, it makes sense.
I'm not a GH guy. Like I've used it, but I've used it periodically. Like literally this year, I used 2 Serostim kits and maybe 2 China China generic kits this whole year. That's like all I used.
Oh
And then
wow.
like the years previous to that, I was off GH for probably several years. Like maybe I would like, all right, I'm gonna try it. I would use one kit and then I would just be like, fuck, I can't afford $1,200 a month in Serostim.
I know. Again, that's what most people don't even realize. I mean, I had this one guy, and granted, I'm glad he was open to listening because he ran through like he was probably like maybe a buck 90, maybe a buck 85, and he was running like everything in the kitchen sink.
Like,
And I'm
homie, you
just
need a cheeseburger. You don't need HGH.
and I'm sitting there looking at him like, dude, I was like, you're running way more stuff than I am. You don't see a problem with that. He's like, well, I'm trying to get big. I'm like, I was like, and then so I started addressing the other
Yeah,
factors.
the eating, the training, yeah.
And then come to find out he eats like a girl.
Yep.
It's like I'm like, dude, you're probably maybe getting fit, maybe even 2,000 calories on the regular, and that's low.
Yeah. That's
And I'm like, you got to have you got to be able to, you need to be pushing towards 3,000 calories, if not more, with everything you're taking. He's like,
yep.
oh, really? I'm like, yes.
Get on a meal plan, bro, and follow it. Don't just casually be like, yeah, I eat,
He
60%
said,
of the meals on program.
he said he got a meal plan from, from a quote unquote gym bro. So I'm not even sure what all that entails, but he just told me the gist of what he was eating. And I was just like, dude, you might be getting 2,000 calories,
Yeah.
and that might be the reason why you're just. And like he sent me pictures, and the pictures didn't surprise me. And it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I knew these pictures were going to look like what they were going to look. That's like,
Yeah. I mean, if you're not ready to be taking high doses and you're taking them, I guarantee maybe 25% of that is what you needed, and then the other 75 is probably just getting converted to fucking other shit, estrogen,
Some
DHT
big old
downstream.
titties.
It's getting like metabolized by your
oh,
skin. You're breaking out. It's getting metabolized by your
he
liver,
he
kidneys.
he also had a slight outbreak around his back and his chest that I noticed too.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you mentioned that, so
Yeah,
it I was just kind of trying to educate him. I'm like, you don't
it,
need to be taking all this stuff. I was like, you right now you've got so many things that may or may not be working, but because you threw them all in at once, we have no idea
yeah.
what's working, what's not working. I was like, you
Tell
need
you
to
what's
strip
not
it.
working is that 2,000 calories.
That too. No, I agree. I agree 100%. And I was like, you need to eat more. And I was like, you're not eating enough for what you're taking. And I was like, you need to be dropping all that shit down and you need to be focused on getting that food in. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
It's
I
a
was like,
pretty huge problem of guys taking too much and then expecting to gain too fast. I mean, like all of us, we spent decades training, eating, resting, cycling. We spent decades doing it. And now that we're at like a very high level, but like it wasn't just overnight. It was, how long 10 to 15 years is? It's like a long fucking
I
time.
agree.
You know?
And a lot of it, a lot of them think that they can do it in like a year.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And we try to tell them, it's like, no.
I try to manage people's expectations. I'm like, if you after your first cycle, maybe you get that like 10, 15 good pounds, you're looking, if you got average genetics, you're looking at 5 to 7 pounds per year gain. And that's if you're like, pushing pretty good. If you keep maintaining let's say 5 to 10 pounds per year, you're like bodybuilding. You're like in the fucking mix. If you're putting on 10 pounds per year, if you're putting on 5, you're kind of like, that's like the lower end of like pushing. Yeah. But like if you're putting on 10 per year for 5 years, 50 extra pounds in 5 years, yeah, you're fucking a bodybuilder. And
exactly.
To think that like, okay, you're 170, now you're on 2 grams, now you're on 3 grams, you're running Trent at 800, you're doing all this stuff. Like, bro, you got a long road ahead of you, and you're taking the shortest path to fucking up your health for good.
Agree. And me and my bro Dom talked about how the problem with a lot of people taking too much too fast is like you're basically exhausting all of these possible options that could be available to you if you just be patient.
Yep.
If you just like pound the food, stick the test, and just do that, and just clang and bang in the gym. Mm-hmm. And then eventually you can throw in the other stuff down the road. You actually have you actually have those levers you can pull instead of pulling them all at once. And then what do you do after that? Like
we were saying before, I think HGH is one of those levers that you can pull, but like I don't think you need to pull it until you get to that level where you're not gaining the size. And then like finally, if you get to a level where you're maxed out, say you're at like a gram of gear total, and you're just like 225 to 235 pounds, then let's put in 4 units, and then let's keep you moving after 5-6 years of bodybuilding. Then let's keep you moving on HGH. But like these guys thinking, that it's like the game changer. It's not the game changer you hope it is. The game changer is steroids. It's testosterone, and that's the real game changer. If you're looking at gear, the real game changer is like what you do outside of that, consistency, training.
Yeah, and that's what I was preaching to him. Is just like you're not eating you're not eating the way you should. You're damn sure not training the way you should, because I can tell from the pictures you're not. So it's like we need to you need to figure some stuff out, because what you're doing right now ain't working. I'm honest. What you're doing right now ain't working.
Yeah.
So you need to figure out some shit. So going back to like what Brian's done, like he got to a point where he realized that he had to start going to that next level with everything. Mm-hmm. And only so many people can. Not everybody can do that.
No.
You know what I mean?
I got to say, I have a slightly different opinion on it. I do think the more you push to some degree, the more you'll grow. But like I said, that's still in respect of you actually touching that ceiling. If you're not touching that ceiling, you don't need to elevate it. It's not going to do anything for you. But I have found for myself, I have decent training. I'm very consistent on the meal plan. So when I started to elevate the drugs, I did get more reward. But you don't know that until you sat there and touched that ceiling long enough to be like, okay, it's time to lift the dose,
Exactly. And that's exactly what I was saying.
And the realistic thing is some people do need more. Like I have gotten up to 3 grams quite a few times, and people are like, that's a fucking lot. I'm like, well, my labs are tolerating it. I feel good. It's just what it takes. And you got to experiment with that too.
Right. And well, I mean, with this kid, it was like, he was maxing out the drugs, but not touching, sealing anything else.
You still train like a fucking cheeseburger. And that's the biggest issue, man. Everybody think they train hard, or they train with somebody train harder. It's like, put some time and resources into your training, man. Put some real sweat equity in the gym, not the fucking drugs first. And I don't even know I don't even know how these kids are doing it. I see this one kid, he goes on Olympus sometimes. He just turned 20 maybe. He's running like 12 units of GAH, running grams of gear. I'm like, bro, I could barely buy a beer at that age. How the fuck are you? I can't barely buy that shit now. How are you doing this?
Right.
I know you're doing some weird shit to get that money, boy, or mommy and daddy are rich, because there ain't no fucking way.
That's not security money, I'll tell you that much.
No, sir.
Damn.
All right. Did you get any Q&As, Brian?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Okay.
Let me pull them up.
I got one. I really didn't get a whole lot. someone sent it to me on the NGL link, but while you're pulling that up, I'll read this one. Some peptides were approved by the FDA. Do you guys take peptides? If I'm interested, where would you recommend people go for more information? It's been hard to talk to a doctor about it as he doesn't really know or have an opinion. So do you guys do any peptides?
I've done MK677. I've done I think it was HGH fragment. What else? Of course I've done the Wolverine formula. Yeah.
TB 500,
Yeah.
BPC. That's my like BPC and TB 500 is literally like a supplement to me now. Like I just do it like ongoing, just because I'm always like getting a little like twinge here. I mean, I like, you know, I got a tweak in my elbow. My foot's got some plantar fasciitis, you know, like all this stuff's kind of always happening. And so I'm just kind of like taking it as like a supplement ongoing.
Yeah.
And
And
then
go ahead.
I've been fucking with the GHK since I got my hair transplant, and I feel like, because I ran it for probably like 4 or 5 months, and then when I was in prep, I just ran out, so I just didn't have it. And I feel like my hair thickness kind of went down, and now I've been back on it, and I feel like it's kind of like going back up. Also, while I was on prep, I was malnourished and I was taking a bunch of Masteron, so like
Yeah.
maybe there's another correlation there, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to say it maybe the GHK. I think even that's, and again, I think that's kind of almost just like a supplementary thing, like, you know, take it long term. And then yeah, that's pretty much it that I'm doing for peptides now. I mean, I absolutely think they work. If you're looking at like whatever you need them for, they work for. Like if you're, you know, trying to lose weight, you can't control your fucking nutrition. Like, yeah, the Retta is fantastic. If
Yeah.
you
Oh,
if
yeah.
you are trying to be a bodybuilder and you're trying to put on size, yeah, the insulin is a fantastic peptide. HGH as well. We talked about that before. Keeps the needle moving. You know, it's gonna, as an anti-aging thing, I think HGH is huge. But as a bodybuilding thing, I think that it's just overrated. I don't think it's not important. I just think that people think it's like a game changer, and
But
maybe it
it's not.
is if you take it for 5 years. But if you're
Right.
taking it for
Yeah.
4 months, it's not a game changer.
And I will say this: I've always told people, don't fuck with HGH unless you're doing one of two things. One, unless you're willing to invest a whole year of being on it, at least, or two, you been planning on chasing a pro card.
Yeah. Brian, what's your thoughts?
I was like, honestly, if you're not doing one, if you're not willing to do one of those, if you're not willing to do both those things, just don't fuck with it. I mean, because it's expensive. It's not cheap. I mean, you know, you're throwing away thousands of dollars on that stuff. You need to at least invest a year, and it needs to be for a good reason, a very, very good reason. Like there has to be a very big payout at the end for you to be running HGH, in my opinion.
One quick caveat. I think that all these HGH secretagogues are vastly overstated. Like if I think that HGH is overrated, I think that these secretagogues are overrated. Like they are probably getting you up to where you're releasing like 1.5 IUs instead of like, you know, like half an IU. Say you're our age, say you're in your 40s, and you're probably releasing like a half to 1 IU. Maybe it'll double it. Maybe it'll get you up to like 2.5. But if you're just taking HGH at 3 IUs, you're fucking crushing what that little secretagogue did. So that's just the caveat to the peptides things. But
I got you.
throw your ideas in there.
I think it comes down to like bang for your buck, man. I mean, if you got all the money in the world, fuck it, dude. I'd run a lot too, but I try to for myself and then clients consider like financial ability and what is the best bang for our buck. So something I use with every client that's on a cycle is glutathione and NAD. I keep that in year round. I do it on the end of the day, the rest days, and I've noticed inflammation, the liver detox, all that. It's a big.
Maybe I'll add
changer.
that in because I have some. I just like I get lazy about it because I hate things that are periodic. Like where I run it once a week, I forget about it. But if I run it every day, I'm like, all right, I
See,
stop
there
my
you go.
day.
I see a lot of people doing it every day. I don't like that idea because we want inflammation to grow muscle. So if we're constantly tackling that inflammation, it's not good. But at the end of the day, rest day, we're resetting before we go back into our training block. So
I got a funny
find that to be
story
very
about
good.
NAD. I got a funny story about NAD. I got some from Amino Asylum, and it's pretty good. It doesn't make me sore or nothing. But so I was starting out. I think I did 25 milligrams to start out, and then like one time, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like just about to head to the gym. I was fasting, whatever, and I did 100 milligrams, and it literally like it hit me like I was like I had just dropped a fucking ecstasy pill or something. I was just like, woo! I was like, I told Miranda and I was like, I think we might have to go to the ER if this keeps getting worse because I'm just like fucking going down. So
Wow.
NAD, be careful with how much you shoot at one time.
Yes.
Well, a lot of it's going to be based off your actual inflammation. Like, so when you first start doing it, like I was doing 200 milligrams rest days during my health phase. I had a coach have me do
In
that.
one shot, you're doing 200 milligrams?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get dizzy like that? Or did I just do something?
It feel like a whole waterfall run through your body and whatnot.
But
see,
it feels like a fucking woo.
The more you do it, the less inflamed you are, the less of that response you tend to get. So now when I do it multiple times a week, I don't really get that response at all. I'm only doing 100 milligrams now twice a week. But that's your body telling you you're fucking inflamed.
I'm gonna start back up at like 25.
But I've seen a direct change in my markers, man. Like I said, I'll be middle of cycle, 3 grams, and my HSCRP is at 0.2, you know, ALT, AST, GGT, CSAT and C, all that is really good. So I like to keep it in year round.
Okay.
The glutathione, I gotta get that one source that maybe you sent me because the stuff that I have, I had to mix it and it just fucking knots me up like crazy. And I just am like, I just don't like taking things that give me like mad pip. Like
it's very source dependent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, he asked, what do you recommend? Man, for peptides, I recommend talking to AI. Like you can pull up studies and you can ask it like, what is the bodybuilding community doing for dosage and stuff? Like you can really get a lot of information if you just keep asking questions about stuff and like how people are using it and stuff like that. You can really get a lot of information about everything from just being curious with AI. And then as for like, I don't know if there's really much forum board talk about stuff anymore. I think forums are kind of a thing of the past. So
yeah, they are
here to get people's like anecdotal, advice on stuff. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know, hiring a coach or something like that. I got a pretty good grip on like the main peptides, but like all these new ones that are coming out, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like you're coming through structures and shit like every day. So I got like a base on like the ones that I know that work, but all those other ones, I'm like, well, I'm just going to see how the evidence pans out before I start jumping on the train.
Right, I agree, and it was that's kind of how Reddit was when it first came out, and everybody didn't know what the fuck it was, and then now you got damn near everybody named Mama on Reddit.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I've not tried a glutathione yet, but hearing you guys talk about it, I've just the gears are going. Yeah,
a lot of these men are already natural processes. Like we can, people taking GHK and all that to clear their skin, but your diet's shit, everything else is shit. So you're throwing a pretty little expensive Band-Aid on it when you could fix that at the source and then supplement with that to help control it. But you can do a lot of this shit without it, inflammation that's controlled outside of this stuff too.
Yeah.
And they just don't want to do the peptides are that Band-Aid. They don't want to do the work to actually get things done. So they throw that shitty Band-Aid on it and think it's all better. But
people want to take something rather than do something.
I agree.
Is a big issue. I agree with that.
So that's why I just don't push them that much.
I mean, like I didn't use any GLPs for prep. I just was hungry. Like, I just did old school.
Well, I mean, that's all it took, isn't it? You're just hungry.
Yeah. So anyway, Brian, you got any questions?
We got one. What's something you do now that you wish you would have done when you started? Or you wish you would have done and started sooner?
Ooh. Honestly, I wish I knew then when I started what I know now. And if I could go back, I would hire a coach, like maybe like a John Meadows coach to do it, to teach me the shit. Cause I just like was meandering through, out of high school lifting weights, eating Snickers bars and True Mass for fucking my calories and like, skipping me, didn't know how to eat, didn't know how to lift, nothing. I wish that I would have invested in like learning some of those things, running like a training program, learning how to logbook, doing that stuff from the beginning, because I would have just been like light years ahead of where I went to. And I made great gains where I came from, but like I think I could have like doubled the gains had I just known what the fuck I was doing. I had intensity. That's all I had. All I had was just
There you go.
mad intensity.
That's about how it was. I mean, I had I had the intensity, but I lacked the patience.
Yep.
And that's the one thing that I wish I could have. I just kicked myself in the ass. Just be more patient, because a lot of the injuries that I managed to get was because I wasn't patient. So I mean, that's the one thing I would definitely tell if I had known from the beginning, was just to be. I had the intensity all day. It's just being patient, not jumping the gun, not doing anything else, just being patient and just it's a process. Like, it that you just kind of have to stick with it and don't try to change too many variables.
So not try to not get ahead of yourself on like where you're at with the process.
Yeah, and where you're at versus where you're trying to go. Because I think we get ahead of ourselves when we get focused on where we're trying to go.
Yeah. What about you, Brian?
I think I wish I would been able to find like a in-person trainer sooner. How many years did you spend just spinning your wheels, just beating your ass for no fucking reason? And then you find someone who's actually educated and shows you how to get that traction that you've been wanting for so long. They say you can't teach this shit online. All this TikTok horse shit, you can't learn intensity. You can't really learn form. You can't learn your biomechanics through that. Someone needs to put their hands on you and take you through that process, And even when I found it in 2019, that motherfucker didn't know what he was doing either. Over time, then I found some good people. I'm like, it made all the difference, man.
Yeah. Okay. What was I going to say? I think a lot of people are afraid to hire a trainer because they're like, "Oh, this guy charges $100 a session." Like, Jesus Christ. But then they'll go out, and they'll buy a fucking car that they are way too much. They'll go spend money on eating out, 3-4 days a week. Like, bro, you could have like hired that guy 2 or 3 days a week. If just like and you don't need to do it forever. Like, train under him, do exactly what Brian did for his whole career in lifting. Train under him, learn what he has to do, move on, apply it to yourself, maybe hire another guy that's got a different method, and you like start to develop this knowledge base, and you add to your body so much by investing in yourself. People invest in these liabilities of just like, I mean, yeah, go have fun with your friends, but just like be realistic on like, if you want to be a bodybuilder and your goal is that, then like invest in yourself. Don't just invest in, all right, I need to take this cycle because I found the the Ronnie Coleman cycle, or I found the Dorian Yates cycle, so I need to buy everything that they did, the Nasser Al Somebody cycle on internet. And you're like, invest in yourself, in training and knowledge and stuff, and it'll take you so much further in this game.
100%. I agree. And I think it goes right back to just, being patient too. And also goes back to, if, like you said, if your goal is to be a bodybuilder, everything you're doing should be focused on that. So when you talk about those liabilities, you got to think, okay, do I really need to do that? Or do I need to try to invest myself to being a better bodybuilder?
It's the old Fight Club thing. The things you own end up owning you because you just got to fucking work to afford them.
I agree. 100%. 100%.
We got any others, Brian?
Yeah, I got a good one. What's the blackest thing about you, and what's the whitest thing about you?
Well, the blackest thing about me, no.
I'll go first with that. Blackest thing about me is my daddy left me when I was a kid. He still ain't come back, but that's okay.
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's see. I don't really think there is a blackest part about me that I can think of, unfortunately. Um, the whitest thing is that I somehow started liking country music. Don't know why.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh no.
That's what I'm talking about.
I
The
see you.
black-
I see you in a belt buckle, some boots and whatnot. You got some Southern
I
pride. We
mean,
seen it.
I mean, you know,
What
I
you
like
drive?
wearing it.
What you drive?
Oh
A
Lord.
big ass lifted diesel truck, huh?
It better be.
Uh,
Hell yeah,
It
bro. You
better
know.
be. I got 2 of them.
I wish. Shit, man, I'm driving a damn Ford Escape.
Hell yeah. Hey, I'm in a fucking Tesla, man. I can't say shit.
He's in a
Before that
Tesla.
was a Prius, so I
Oh,
had
okay.
diesels. I sold them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I'm out
The
here in
blackest
California,
thing-
man.
The blackest thing about me, I would say, would be my muscle bellies. Like I just got those round
You
muscle
do.
bellies.
Yeah, you
And
do.
then the whitest thing I would say is my credit score.
Oh,
I'm rolling above 800 still.
Damn.
well. Now that you're saying that, I guess that is the blackest part about me is my credit score.
Hell yeah.
It's getting better. I'm working on it. It's getting better. But it sucked for a number. It sucked for a number of years.
We all been there. I had a low one for a minute, but I fixed it.
Exactly.
So, and then also probably all the diesel trucks that I own is the whitest thing. The white trashes thing about me for
Yeah.
sure.
All right. We already talked about Olympus. What do we think about it? It's fucking shit. Next question. Science-based lifting, of course. We got that.
Yeah, of
And
course
then,
you got that.
Tampa Pro placement predictions.
Okay.
What do you got? What do y'all think between Nick and Joe? Who's going for it?
I've been on podcasts with Joe. I think he's got something special that he's bringing. Structurally, him and Nick, match up really well. But I think Nick's going to win because he's so elevated as a bodybuilder. He's been in the top 5. He's won the Arnold Classic. He's won multiple shows. Joe obviously hasn't won any of those because he's a newer bodybuilder, but he really stacks on the size. And at any point, someone can have a breakout year. We've seen guys have a breakout year, win a show, go to the Olympia, place top 5. Look, Martin did it, 4 or 5 years ago. Nick did it himself. He had such a hard time turning pro. He did like 9 national level shows, finally wins his card at North Americans, goes New York Pro, Arnold Classic, Olympia top 5. So he did that in 1 year. It was all just bam, bam, bam. So I think that Joe could have a breakout year. It's the possibility is there. I want to say I think Nick, because he's just so elevated, and I've seen his check-ins. He looks fucking insane right now.
Yeah, I've seen the photos. I've seen the photos of Nick, and he's looking nutty. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. And the thing about me when it comes to predictions, man, I like to just see it right then and there. I like to see the prejudge. I like to see what's going on.
A lot of
because we all know there's a night and day difference between what you see on social media and what happens at prejudging.
Yeah, huge.
You know what I'm saying? Because they could look gnarly the night before, and then something happens at prejudging. I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, I like to see what they look like prejudging.
We know those guys. I mean, Regan Grimes is one of those guys. He looks like Mr. Olympia on Instagram, and then he goes and he wins shows because he's a good bodybuilder. But then he goes to the Olympia and he's like a after 10th place kind of guy, around 10th, something like that.
Yeah.
So like when he looks on Instagram, like, bro, this guy's winning the O.
Yeah, you would think that. Yeah. And like I said,
and it's usually a conditioning issue. And like, I don't think he's not trying. I think that maybe he just like gets nervous and it just kind of has a little bit of water retention or something,
Yeah. I mean, he's looking looking gnarly himself.
Yeah.
And
he's looking insane right now.
Yeah. I honestly, I hadn't followed Regan for a while. And then when I was like in my For You page, I was like, this is a huge motherfucker. And I looked, I was like, is that Regan? The fuck? That's like, I didn't even recognize him.
Regan ate the old Regan.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I'm like, I didn't even recognize him. I was like, damn, he's been putting in some work. Like, all right, shit.
But Tampa's a deep lineup. I mean, it's Charles Griffin. He's a previous top 10 Olympian. James Hollingshead is coming in.
Okay.
Let's see. There's Nick and Joe.
You got that
There's
French guy too. What's his name?
Pierre.
Starts with-
Parnell or something like that.
No, I think his first name starts with a J. Last name's like Pierre.
Okay.
He's a big boy. He's a young one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
I
think
can't
I know
remember
who
his
you're talking
name.
about. Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, because he just popped up in my For You page too. I think I know who you're talking about. I think he's looking. Yeah, I mean, he definitely looks like he's about to do some damage. But we again prejudging.
We're gonna figure out.
Prejudging, man.
You never know who's going to show up until it's really just like what's going to show up until they do.
Right. It like I said, that's the reason why I really don't do predictions, because it's like I like to see what we looking like on prejudging. Like
Yeah.
you never, like I said, we all know there's a night and day difference between the night before and the morning of.
I did one big prediction at the beginning of the year. I thought that I think I said it in like January that Andrew Jack was going to win the Arnold and the Olympia this year. So we'll see if that prediction holds true.
Okay. So far you've got half. You're halfway.
Halfway right.
Yeah.
But the Olympia is going to be exciting, man. I mean, we got Samson looking bigger than ever. I mean, we got a lot of Hottie coming in trying to reclaim. We got Derek defending. Martin is looking bigger than ever. I don't know if you guys follow Brett and Martin, but Martin's looking insane.
Yeah, I follow Brett. I mean, I've seen Martin through there, so yeah. I mean, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, but what do you think, Brian?
I think Nick has been marinating at that weight and that look for much longer. You see a different level of conditioning out of that. They're too structurally similar, so I don't know how Joe's gonna. I mean, Joe's conditioning is great too, but he doesn't have as much of that granite texture that Nick tends to have. So I think that's gonna be the separation that's needed to win. But I still, I want Joe to win. I give him that.
I agree. Me too.
Any physique updates in a minute that I've been seeing, but his face just looks gaunt, bro. His cheeks are tied in, so he's looking face wise. He's looking like he's gonna be ready.
Yeah, but he did just get that new coach. Nick did, so we got to see how that pans out too.
That's true. That's true.
Nick, he
did coach himself for a while, didn't he?
Yeah, he did that for the Arnold with Guy.
Yeah, I think Guy's sister Nino was kind of coaching him, but they were just kind of like co-coaching. But him coming off that that showing at the Arnold was just monumental. I mean, beating Martin, like pushing Andrew Jack, like a guy with that much more structure than him is pretty impressive that he was able to push Andrew. So that's why I'm thinking that like Nick is just going to be like a terror coming through this Tampa road.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because like I said, I've seen the pictures of Nick, and he's looking pretty gnarly right now.
Yeah.
So, but again, we'll see. See if he can, carry over that prejudging. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I would say Joe is an underdog, and we always love when an underdog comes out and just fucking pulls it off. So it would be cool to see either one of those.
It's definitely going to be interesting. It definitely is interesting to see Nick and Joe side by side. I mean, see what happens.
The last 3 shows of the year are just going to be crazy, because you got Tampa, and then you got Atlanta, and then you got Texas. They're all 1 week apart. So I mean, like, whoever doesn't win one show is just going to jump into the next. So Texas could be really nasty.
Yeah,
yeah, especially with everybody still trying to qualify for the Olympia.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be there in person, man. I'll be at Tampa to see it.
All right, cool deal.
Hell yeah.
How we doing on cues?
That's pretty much all I got. Decent ones.
Pretty much it. How much? How we're looking at time?
We had 1:47. We wrap it up.
Oh shit, it was a good one. All right. Cool. So you want me to wrap it?
So where can we find you, Hulk? On Instagram, you got coaching. Talk about
on
it
Instagram, Hulkzilla. On X, Savage Hulkzilla is on there. My handle on there, and then on TikTok, the same Hulkzilla. So I try to keep it consistent between the platforms. So But yeah, that's where you can find me. Instagram, TikTok, they're both Hulkzilla, and on X, which I barely post on there, is Savage Hulkzilla.
There you
Okay.
go. And you,
Cool, man.
your clients, you do competition too? That you put
What's
people
that?
on, you put people on stage too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
There
I
you go.
do. Yeah. I put one of my clients on stage last year, and won't be a long story, but he wanted to. He competes in the open, light heavy,
Mhm.
and I'm sorry, open heavyweight. I'm sorry. And he told me he wanted to, do class physique. I'm like, all right, shit, fucking go for it. Yeah, I had no problem with it. And so the funny part was that he won his class in class physique and almost won the overall, but he ended up getting third place in the open heavyweight bodybuilding. So, he wasn't happy because he really wanted that, first place in the open. I was like, you got class of physique? He says, no, I was just fucking around with class of physique. I'm like, all right, well, there you go.
What's the Instagram for your apparel company?
It is American Savage.
Just one word, American
Yeah,
Savage.
just one
Okay.
word, American Savage. Yeah.
Check it out, guys. Thanks for coming on, Curt. Till next time. I guess this will be up tomorrow, Monday, and then and then we'll do this every Sunday. We'll see what's up next week.
Thank y'all for
Alrighty.
having me on.
Thanks.